So for this video, we're going to look at using the shoulder bump for dirty boxing. So I'm going to borrow a page from Byron's book from some of the content that he does up here in our combatives classes and our Panantukan or dirty boxing classes. And we're going to start to implement the shoulder bump here during our dirty boxing combinations. So we'll start off with just a basic jab cross, just a simple format that most everybody knows. So he's going to feed straight left and straight right. We're in the left lead today. You can and should practice in both, but we'll just stick with left for the video. So he feeds jab and cross. Now I'm going to catch the jab like this, and I'm going to allow my hand to drift just a little bit so I can pick up this cross sooner than later, right? I want to be able to parry it not here, right in front, but more here quickly. When I do that, that exposes this seam here, this chain along the floating ribs. This whole side of the rib cage beneath the armpit is typically exposed. You can have a lot around the middle and still really not have much cushion underneath the arm here. So this is a great place to hit either with an elbow, with a punch, or again with the shoulder, which is what we'll look at today. So he feeds jab cross on 1 and 2. You might find that being on the high part of the forearm gets you there, especially if you're pairing and checking towards the reference point of the far shoulder, that being his lead shoulder here. 1, 2. You also might try going palm towards the elbow and popping this in that direction. That starts to pitch his weight back and open that side body up. Just be cautious doing this one that you don't do anything to hyperextend your partner's elbow. So talk to them before you try it. 1, 2. Okay. Now I've taken a slight step with my left foot here at the point of contact for my defense against his cross, just to get my head and body offline and steal a little bit of the march from him. 1 and 2, like this. Now I'm going to take my rear foot and allow that to step next to and a little bit behind his lead. That puts my shoulder in position to drive through that side of his body. He feeds 1, 2, that's the lead step. I step through with my rear and nudge with the shoulder like this. Again, 1, 2, and 3. You want to make sure your hands are still in play for that shoulder bump. I don't want to come here and miss it. I might get headlocked, so it's nice to have some hands here protecting myself. And he does have knees that I have to worry about. So keep your hands engaged. 1, 2, and 3. Again, 1, 2, step through. And this will be my right shoulder, my right foot now taking the lead that drives through his body. So I have two options in what to do with this shoulder bump that we're going to look at today. One is to just make space like that, right? That might send him flying, and maybe now I've got the opportunity for a safe escape, or whatever the situation calls for. I can use this to make a great deal of space, especially if I'm back against the wall like this and I don't have a lot of room to move in a retreating fashion. I can use this as a way to now make the gap that I might need. The other method will be to do a little bit of a lighter bump, which is nicer on his body, but keeps him from flying across the room where we got to chase him down again. And when I hook this foot behind him and I nudge with the shoulder, that's going to cross his feet up and dump his weight back. So I'm like maybe 2/3 of the way through a sweep here, this front sweep this way, right? And down he goes. So certainly the sweep is a logical follow-up, but we can also simply have 1, 2, 3 to make position and now start firing with his balance out the window. So it's better for me if our fight starts with him here like this, where he's half falling over, half in the middle of a limbo. Now I get to take my shots here. I can hit low to the groin, I can hit high, we can knee the base or fire wherever we need to, with him still struggling to even stand, let alone defend. So that again looks like 1, 2, 3, hit, 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 like this. So for a variation on this, we'll look at some common punch defenses that we would do in Panantukan and Silat, and then we'll add in the shoulder bump from there. So when Byron feeds the jab, I'm going to step off with my right foot, right, my rear foot. Now I can step laterally, or I can drop step with my left foot and change my positions on that female triangle line. So that's a V-shaped footwork. My left foot drops back so my right can go out this way. So item 1 is I'm getting my head offline. 2 is I bring this hand in to parry and make sure that his punch is in a position where I want it, so that item 3 comes into play, which is the opportunity to score a shot over his punch. So that would be 1 here like this. Now, when he turns to throw his cross that I know is coming, I've got to be able to pick this up. We're going to salute up. Now, the salute could be vertical gunting here to the funny bone. It could be a shot to the groin coming through. It could be a shot to the body coming through. As any of these could be counter strikes in some way. We could even go here like that and elbow the fist. So again, we have 1, 2. Now I would suggest using the elbow if you've got body protection that covers this part of the body. Even then, maybe still put some heavy elbow pads on, because this is a really nasty shot when it lands. It's meant to break these ribs, right? And the position is not hard to do this. 1, 2, and 3. So as this is a shoulder bump video, we'll point out that it's a good opportunity to do the elbow, but we'll use the shoulder instead. It's safer for him, and it's still a really good technique, so that we've got 1 and 2. Now I'm going to bring this hand here to protect against the knee and drive my shoulder along the line of the underside of his arm into the ribs this way, and then fire 2 and 3. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Hit, hit, hit. If he goes far away from my body at this point, then you lift, kick in, and fire. And if I capture the foot at this point, then he stays here, and I hit while he's off balance. And as before, option 3 might be to take this capture and sweep that foot in some way and see what winds up. Remember that the Filipino boxing or dirty boxing or Panantukan is, there's great strategies in there for competitive boxing, but it's really more a combative boxing art as opposed to a sport. And so those are the elements that we tend to focus on here in both the Panantukan classes that I teach or that Byron teaches. It's a ton of fun, so I hope that you have fun trying it out. Let us know in the comments below what you think or any questions that came up, and we'll address them there with you or in a new video going forward. Again, we appreciate you watching. Hope to train with you soon.